It's a place that Native Americans, African Americans, and European Americans all settled together, beginning in like the early 1800s with the enslaved people from the South, following the Underground Railroad north towards Canada. And once they got past the Ohio River, they found that, this was a place in the hills with swampy land that they could kind of hide out and not be found by bounty hunters.
But because it is a historic moment to uncover a place that put this kind of experience together is unique culturally, and that's why we call it a cultural phenomenon. And it's something, it's a story that must be told, like we put on our website. There's no way this ought to be kept secret.
It's hard to picture in your mind now, but this place was really a thriving community, and it's just kind of amazing to go back there and see what's left.
There's just a lot of history in southern Ohio and all of Appalachia, really, and that people really don't realize. And I think everyone here should really take an interest in, preserving that history and really be proud of where they're from.
Now Mildred was like a second mom to me. Now I didn't notice to call her. I didn't care, I could have cared less. Because they were good people, they were good to me. Like I said, she gave me my first stick of chewing gum, So, the black people around here are good people. I mean, I remember my dad was friends with all the black folks around here, and I don't know them all anymore, because of the younger generations, but yeah, there's all good people.
I grew up, we had no color barrier down in Bidwell, it's true, or here in Blackfork. I've never reached out for anything that I didn't get or couldn't get here in Blackfork area, all this area down through here.
You think there wasn't?
Why? Well, it was country for here. It's just country. Everybody had to stick together, or you die.
There was problems in the community. I mean, and not in this community, but when you got outside of this community, you had, if you went to Oak Hill, as she said, you better be out of town before dark. Yeah.
I also had the fortunate timing of it that I was up there was also during the 2008 elections. So with at the time candidate Obama, and then follow on, with President Obama, a lot of ethnic, racial questions people were discussing, talking about being in a post-racial time here in America. And it was really unique in that I was looking at a part of this country that, going back several hundred years, was already post-racial.
And sometimes with some people, you got all three.
That's right. Most of them.
So guess what I am? I'm American. We're talking to
When anybody asks me what I am,
Right, I understand.
I say I'm American. You can take it or leave it.
It was just something about things that things were just different than they are now, and that's all there was to it. Because I remember when they used to play football right down on the hill there. I said, God, and they had a store right there. It was a big department store right there.
So you were here when the department store and the theater and everything?
Yeah, I was here. I was when I was a little kid. I mean, I thought I looked way up. It was great big old, to me, When I was a little kid, you know, I looked way up and I'd see somebody standing up on the stairway. Yeah, I was here.
Do you remember seeing any movies at the theater? Or?
Yeah, I went to movies. We segregated. We were segregated, went to movies up in Oak Hill. We used to go every Saturday. We used to go to them cereals. Me and a bunch of kids up here for the theaters. We couldn't break it up down here. Didn't try to, didn't want to, didn't know what was going on. We set up in upstairs there. I mean, I didn't, because we go to see them cereals every Saturday, and we didn't care whether segregated or not. We wanted to see them at action pictures, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but it wasn't like it wasn't. I don't know. Segregation to me wasn't nothing really. It was just to me, it didn't bother me one way or the other, because I was a solitary person anyway.
Back when I was a kid, there was quite a few more homes around here. There used to be one, well, let's see, Mildred's mom lived, go down here and turn left, go up that hill, top that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Her old homestead was there, and of course it caught on fire and she perished in that fire.
She died in the fire.
And then of course Rita lived up on the hill, and yeah, back when I was a kid growing up around here, this area and like the Dry Ridge area, it was a booming place. Of course, the Blackfork place over there at the old brickyard and everything was, they had their own post office and everything. And yeah, it was a booming thing at one time. Well, I don't really know. I don't think there's, as far as getting along, I don't think there's a whole lot of prejudice around here. I'm not sure that there isn't any today, you know. That
You can go to Oak Hill or Ironton and there's prejudice there. It's really interesting that right here in this area that everybody
everybody knew each other here, you know. And I mean, if like I remember when I was a kid, you know, if my dad needed something done, of course, Speed, you know, he's a collared man, he'd give you the shirt off his back, you know. And Mildred would do the same thing, you know. And then all the black folks over here at Blackfork, you know, Buzz Howell and all of them over there, you know, they were good people.
There was a man by the name of David Jenkins that lived in Poke Patch on Dirty Face Creek. When we did come back, he invited us in and we sat down and we talked with him for a while and we drank some coffee, and he got to know us very well. He felt comfortable with us at that point in time. And so we got our gear on and he got his gear on, and we decided to take what seemed to be a short walk down Dirty Face Creek. And there were briars everywhere. We slipped, there was mud, there was water. We walked for a while and he stopped, and we got to him and he pointed up the hill and said, "There it is." And we looked up and we didn't see anything. So there was a hill that we had to go up. It was very steep. He was standing up there waiting for us, and it was kind of hard to show the amazement because we were out of breath. But when we caught our breath, it was there. And we continued to explore, and we climbed up, and Dave put me up on his shoulders and hoisted me up into the rock face, and there I was. I was standing on history.
The exciting thing for me as a professor at Ohio University is this idea that for a 2-year period, undergraduates fought it out and made the study successful and discovered lots of interesting things that had not been discovered before or had been forgotten. Some of this is sort of a rediscovery. And then that culmination, that final moment when we discovered Window Rock, that we had had been the holy grail for us. We knew it was out there. Cambria Furnace, all of these things that we discovered were a vindication that this not only this research works, but that undergraduates can do research, and that a professor who believes that's not a fool, and that this is a valid academic activity for them to learn so much about themselves, about others, about culture, about research. The list goes on and on. Truly a successful experience.